Hi, let's discuss why Apple should never make a foldable iPhone. Now, this might sound counterintuitive during the current trend, so let's dive in and explore it. These exciting devices have seen a surge in popularity over the past few years, with tech giants like Samsung, Google, Microsoft, and even Motorola diving headfirst into the new form factor. Despite the rapid development by these manufacturers, the market for foldable phones is still relatively niche compared to the overall smartphone market. Moreover, foldable phones are riddled with issues, from durability concerns to less than stellar battery life. Now, with this context, I'd like you to buckle up and let's get started on our journey to uncover why Apple should stay clear of the foldable trend. We'll be discussing Apple's philosophy, the user experience challenges with foldable phones, the cost implications, and much more. There's a reason why Apple's products are synonymous with quality, and it's deeply rooted in the company's philosophy. You see, Apple has always had an approach that sets it apart from most tech companies. It's not usually the first to jump onto new technology trends. Instead, Apple waits. But it's not a passive waiting, it's a strategic one. While others are rushing to implement the newest, shiniest features, Apple observes. It looks at the technology, the implementation, the problems, and the user reception. This approach stems from Apple's unwavering commitment to quality over quantity. Apple is not in the race to release the most products or to adopt every emerging technology. It is in the race to release the best products that offer high quality, reliable user experience. Apple's philosophy is not about being the first, it's about being the best. It's about ensuring that when they do adopt a technology, it matures to the point where they can incorporate it without compromising the user experience. Apple thoroughly studies the technology, understands its flaws, and figures out ways to address any shortcomings while providing a flawless user experience before they choose to adopt it. One of the most notable examples of this is iPhone's adoption of 4G and 5G. While other manufacturers rushed to launch 4G and 5G devices, Apple waited. It only released the 4G iPhone when the technology was stable and widely available. The same goes for 5G. The iPhone 12 series, launched in 2020, was Apple's first 5G device, years after other manufacturers had released 5G devices. But when Apple did launch, they did it right, providing a seamless and robust 5G experience for users. Now, apply this philosophy to the world of foldable smartphones. They are new, they are exciting, and they are still very much in their infancy, with many technical issues yet to be resolved. So it's no surprise that Apple is biding its time, observing the market, and waiting for the technology to mature. As we venture deeper into our discussion, it's time to shed light on the elephant in the room, the problems that currently plague foldable phones. Remember, Apple's philosophy is all about quality and a seamless user experience. So let's consider whether foldable technology in its current state applies with this philosophy. Firstly, there's the issue of the crease. Foldable phones, as their name suggests, fold. That folding action leaves an unsightly crease smack in the middle of the screen, like a stubborn wrinkle that refuses to iron out. And it's not just an eyesore, it messes with your viewing experience, particularly when watching videos or playing games. Tech companies have tried to minimize the visibility and feel of this crease, but so far, no one has been able to eliminate it completely. But that's not all. The sturdiness of traditional smartphones is well established, like a heavyweight boxer in the ring. They can handle a few knocks, spills, and even those accidental screen-to-pavement encounters. But foldable phones? Not quite there yet. The screens on foldable phones are made of plastic or ultra-thin glass, which is more prone to scratches compared to the standard Gorilla Glass used in traditional smartphones. Plus, achieving water resistance is a daunting task due to the moving parts in a foldable design. Now, imagine you're Apple, a company that prides itself on delivering high-quality, durable products. Would you be willing to release a device that has a visible crease in the middle of the screen, scratches easily, and has questionable water resistance? Probably not. And it's not just about the physical aspects, there's also the user experience to consider. iOS is a carefully designed operating system optimized for a flat, non-flexible display. Adapting it to a foldable display would require a significant amount of work to ensure the same level of intuitiveness and fluidity that Apple users are accustomed to. So, as much as we adore innovation, let's face it, foldable phones are still like teenagers going through an awkward growth phase. For Apple, the bar is set high. Quality, durability, and the user experience are the holy trinity. Foldable phones are positioned as premium devices and are priced accordingly. I'm talking about an average cost of $1,800. But do they offer value commensurate with their high price tags? Let's consider what you're getting with a foldable phone. Yes, you're getting a device that can act as both a phone and a tablet. But as we've discussed, there are compromises in both modes. The phone mode is bulkier and often narrower than a standard smartphone. And the tablet mode has an unconventional aspect ratio that can impact content consumption. Now, consider the alternative. For the price of one foldable phone, you can potentially buy a mid-range to high-end smartphone and tablets. Both these devices will be designed for their form factors, offering a superior user experience for their respective uses. Plus, you'll have two separate devices, meaning you can use one while the other is charging or even use them simultaneously. Battery life is another area of concern with foldable phones. The larger screens demand more power, leading to less than impressive battery performance, despite having larger batteries compared to standard smartphones. And let's not forget the ouch factor: repairs. Foldable phones with their intricate designs and delicate screens are like high maintenance divas. A single tumble and you might find yourself on a first name basis with the repair shop guy. Say hello to expensive repairs and a dent in your wallet. So when you add it all up, the value proposition of foldable phones comes into question. You're paying a premium price, but are you getting a premium experience? The foldable form factor. A mix of phone and tablet that promises the best of both worlds. But hold your horses, because when we dig deeper, things start to get a little blurry, like trying to take a selfie after spinning around too much. First, let's consider the device in its folded state. It's thicker than a regular smartphone, making it bulkier in your pocket. And let's not forget the outer screen. Narrower than a runway model's waistline. Typing becomes a game of finger gymnastics and interacting with it feels messy and awkward. Then, when you unfold the device, you're greeted with a square or near square screen. This aspect ratio is quite different from the rectangular screens we are accustomed to on both smartphones and tablets. So, what's the impact of this? Well, when it comes to watching videos, you're likely going to end up with large black bars above and below the video due to unconventional screen aspect ratio. For web browsing, a square screen can display less vertical content, resulting in a never-ending scrollathon. And for apps, unless they've been specifically designed for a foldable screen, which most mainstream apps aren't, you'll definitely encounter issues with how the app fits and operates on the screen. So, while the idea of a foldable device that bridges the gap between phone and tablet sounds appealing, the reality, at least with the current foldable phones, is less so. The form factor introduces compromises both as a phone and as a tablet, which leads to the question, what exactly is the use case of this form factor? In the tech world, we often equate innovation with being the first to introduce a new feature or product. But true innovation isn't necessarily about being the first, it's about doing things right. Sure, they weren't the first pioneers of smartphones, tablets, smartwatches, or even VR/AR headsets. But what they lack in first place medals, they make up for with their magical touch of refinement. They take these product categories and refine them to a point where they set the standard for the entire industry. Innovation is about solving problems, meeting user needs, and improving experiences. It's about observing, understanding, and then creating. This is where Apple excels. They observe the market, understand the technology and user needs, and then create products that are designed to deliver the best possible user experience. From their custom silicon that's faster than a caffeinated cheetah, to their laser focus on privacy and security, to the ecosystem that's smoother than a buttered slide, Apple's innovations are pervasive and often set the trend for the rest of the industry. They are not going to release a product just because it's the next big thing. They are going to release a product when they can do it right, in a way that benefits the users. We've come a long way in our exploration of why Apple should not make a foldable iPhone. From the technical and user experience challenges to the high cost, we've delved deep into the reasons that make foldable phones a less than ideal path for Apple at this point. Choosing not to create a foldable iPhone now doesn't mean Apple is resistant to change or innovation. It means they are focused on delivering the best possible products to their customers. Products that are reliable, high quality, and offer a seamless user experience. And who knows, as foldable technology matures and the issues we've discussed are resolved, we might see a foldable iPhone someday. But until then, Apple will continue to excel at what it does best: creating exceptional products that delight customers and set the standard for the industry. That's it for today's discussion, folks. I hope you found it insightful and engaging. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think about the idea of a foldable iPhone? Do you agree with our points, or do you see it differently? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.